content warning, depression, manic episode, suicidal ideation, insomnia. When I was 15, I had an appointment with a psychiatrist. I remember my dad driving me there, taking our family truck with four-wheel drive so that we could wade through the snow of the Minnesota winter. I had a long history of oppositional defiance and irritability, and I had been skipping school for a while, dropping assignments and bombing tests because I just couldn't be bothered. My parents didn't know what to do with me, so off to the psychiatrist I went. He was a nice guy all in all, the psychiatrist, but he seemed to be in a rush. We had a conversation, or rather he had a conversation with my dad with some input on my part, and I was diagnosed with depression and insomnia. He prescribed me medication, the name of which I can't remember anymore, something to help with mood. I started taking it, and pretty soon I felt like a zombie. I felt nothing, no sadness, no anger, no libido, just a whole bunch of nothing. I decided I wasn't going to take it anymore, and my parents didn't fight me on it. That left a question hanging over my head, though. What the H was I going to do with myself? I never stopped skipping class or dropping assignments whenever I didn't feel like doing them, which was just about every assignment. Eventually I went to court for being truant, and I was ordered to attend at least 2 sessions of therapy. My first therapist was a complicated guy. He only really talked about himself, and I got the impression that he was a bit pretentious, but in all fairness, I went in with the unshakable conviction that this guy wasn't gonna get a damn thing out of me. There's not much else to be said about it, but I requested a different therapist after the fact. My second therapist was this older lady who was pretty nice, but, same deal, she wasn't getting a damn thing out of me. I wasn't going to let these MFCKs tell me what to do. Every one of those rat-s therapists with a soft-speaking voice and a sweater vest, and they both had M, could go to H. I wasn't a patient. Everyone else was wrong, not me. When I was 17, I dropped out of high school. My parents never said anything, I just stopped going, and they didn't fight me on it. My dad started pushing my 2 younger sisters pretty hard to do well in school. Honestly, I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish. They were doing fine already. Looking back on it, I guess he felt like he had failed. I didn't digest that for a while. Was I a failure? Nah, FM. After dropping out, I spent about 15 hours a day lying on the couch and watching TV shows or YouTube videos or something. If I didn't have something to fill the space, you can be sure my mind would go in one of 2 directions. A manic episode where I'd imagine all the amazing things I'd do and how stupid all of the people who treated me like I was broken would feel. Or a comprehensive catalog of all the ways that I could kill myself. The hatred of others, of the self, of the world, the sadness and anger. I would lay on the floor of my room for hours, writhing around and wishing for something to kill me so that I wouldn't have to do it myself. Eventually I got a job as a server at a local cafe. My manager was a pain in the I mean a real pain in the She'd tell me one thing, then I'd do it, and she'd tell me that I was supposed to do another thing, and I'd get in trouble. The kind of thing that drives you insane. I would cry in the bathroom. I started feeling cynical, like I'd get chewed out for something regardless of what I did. I stopped giving a S. I quit. It had been a month and a half. Around this time, I started thinking that I really did have to change something. I started reading every day and setting aside time to be away from screens. I went online and found some YouTube videos from a therapist, the run-of-the-mill psychoeducation stuff, how to set boundaries and goals, how to follow up on them, how to think about my own thinking. I started putting my feet back on the ground, figuring stuff out. I had cut myself off from the friends I'd made in high school by then, but I started to develop some friends online. They helped me out a lot. Over the next couple of years, I received a GED and enrolled in college. I do all right for myself now, but looking back on it, it always feels like I had taken a long hike through H. I appreciate what I have more, and where I'm at now. Being functional on a daily basis is a gift in itself, so anything else is just the cherry on top.